Welcome to Garden Crossings. I'm Heidi. We're going to take a walk through the greenhouse today and see what's currently going on. I know we're supposed to be getting a shipment of annuals in here shortly, so that will be exciting to watch that truck roll in. Do some planting, but there's a lot of other just little projects going on. So let's take a look and see what we are doing today. So we're currently in one of our greenhouses. This one's been here for probably about 2, if not 3 years. See, it's all cleaned up, the floors are all sprayed, and it's just ready for plants to be brought into this area. One thing Logan's working on here, though, is he's building sliding doors. So between every 2 greenhouses, and when I say 2 greenhouses, let's take a look here. You can see there's one there on the right, one on the left. So every 2 areas, we have a wall going down and then sliding doors between. That way we can kind of control the temperature in a lot of different spaces if we need it warmer or cooler. So once the summer comes, these side curtains, they all get rolled up to the top and it's just one great big growing environment. But for in the winter, we want to keep things separated, just like I said, so we can control temperatures. So he's building some new sliding doors here. It looks like he's just about finished. So it's always kind of tricky to make sure you get them all squared off, but he's done these so often that he's pretty much the door expert now. And yeah, does a really nice job building the doors. We're gonna go on past him and see if the cement guys have been here yet to see what the next project is. So the cement guys haven't arrived quite yet, but the area that we're walking into, this is the newest area that we built this winter. So as I've said in other videos, this area was intentionally, we were going to put a lean-to, which is just basically a hoop that goes to the ground. But once we got to thinking about it and where the sidewalk here is laid, we decided that probably wouldn't be a good idea because the shipping carts would have to be strategically placed on the sidewalk so that they wouldn't hit the lean-to as it was coming down to the side. So we scrapped that idea and just put up one more gutter connect to finish this area off. So really everything is done now. The electric's done, the water lines are all hung. Obviously the plastic and the shade cloth, that was put on a long time ago. So right now we're just waiting for the cement to be laid. There's really not a lot of cement that we're needing in this space because we had planned for this to be part of the greenhouse, so we laid most of the cement when we did our last cement laying last year, but there's just a few areas we had to cut out because they were either cracked from equipment riding on it or because the actual gutter connect greenhouse is just a little bit wider than what the lean-to would have been. So just kind of some little odd spaces here that they'll be pouring some cement. And then down at the other end there as well, we have a garage. We'll walk down there. There's a garage door down there that we moved. Every time we do an expansion, it feels like the garage door gets moved another 2 greenhouses. But it's nice that you can keep using the same stuff, even though it does have to get moved every time. Kind of feel bad for the cement guys because there's really not a lot they need to do, but just these weird little spaces. And the funny thing is Rod is so particular about his cement and everything matching and the same color, which this is not going to match, but it is what it is. It's got to be done. The joke always is will Heidi find the wet cement to put the year or write my name or whatever in it. But Rod always tells me he's paid the cement guys very well to watch me to make for sure I don't make any markings in his cement. And we have poured a ton of cement in these greenhouses, and there is not one spot that I have been able to leave my mark without Rod finding it and getting it all smoothed out. So I don't know, like when you're laying cement, don't you want to put the date in it or like your kid's hands or something? I want to, but nope, that doesn't happen around here. So this area, once the cement's all laid and dried, then you can see there's a lot of sand here. This will all get covered up with black ground mat. and plants will be ready to be laid down in this space. So it's definitely getting to the end of what needs to be done in this area, and it'll be exciting once it's just, you know, wide open. And you'll see that in the summer videos once we have all the curtains rolled up, just how big this area feels when it's not sectioned off into rooms. So hopefully I will be able to catch the cement guys while they're here, so we can hopefully insert a little video of them working and just getting the cement put in and the different type of machinery that they use to do this, because it's not really by our driveway or anything. So they have to use little buggies and stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to catch them so I can show you how that gets done. All right, let's go see what the rest of the team's doing. The team has been busy filling up the pots here. These are just some of our Eco Grande pots, which means annuals will be coming shortly. So hopefully we'll get a picture of that beautiful 4-star truck as it rolls in. But these are our new compostable plant containers. So these can get recycled and they'll break down either in your landscape or in the landfill. We'll do a video on these though, just to give you more information on what they are and how they work. Heading over to the flat filling area, and the sun is trying to peek through today. It's 7 degrees out there, so it's probably our coldest day of the year. Well, for sure the coldest day of the year for 2023. You can see there's like a lot of snow packed up there on top of the greenhouse, but where it's a little bit thinner, the sun is poking through. Here comes Carter on the new little cart puller. That makes transporting all of our pots to the different greenhouse areas so much easier. Here are some pots that need to get filled yet. So these are going to be heading to the flat filling machine shortly. And then here are some that have already been filled. So they'll, well, actually there's just this little bit here. They'll head out back. And then these here, again, these are all empty. So these are all have to get filled up. They all have a sticker on them with which date they're, I don't know what that date means actually. I think that's their planting date. So they're going to get filled up and they're going to get planted next week actually. Carts are all lined up, waiting to get filled. Oh, what a beautiful place to be working right now. The sun is so nice and bright. Phil is working right now, and it's going to get a big workout today. The empty pots are put there on the conveyor belt where they then get sent down the line. They hit a couple bumpers where they turn and then go into the flat filling machine. Flat filler dumps the soil into the pots. There's little brushes in there that smooth off any excess, along with a vibrating belt that kind of compacts the soil. So that way when they come out the other end, they are like perfectly filled to the right amount. And then they'll be ready to be planted once the plugs come in. This is a one-person job now. It used to be 4 or 5 people. She gets the trays put on the belt, going one way, and then is taking them off as they come back to her. You can see as they get put on, they're pretty much like tray tight, but when they take that corner, it gives them a little bit of a gap, so that helps her be able to keep up with unloading and not feeling too overwhelmed. So right now we're in the plug area. These are perennial plugs. These were brought in a few weeks ago. So when we plant our perennials up, we plant them in stages. That way they get ready at different times. So these will be planted about 4, maybe 6 weeks after the original batch that came in were planted. That way everything's not ready at the same time. There was a bunch of shrubs, gallon shrubs that were left over from last year in this area. So they've all been cleaned up and trimmed up. The floor has been sprayed to remove any algae that may have been on it, and then we'll come through with a bleach type of solution that will kill any remaining algae and any weeds and such that may be in this area. It's always so refreshing when we come through and clean these greenhouse spaces up. Obviously, after plants have been sitting there for a year, leaves drop, soil drops. So it's always so cool when it's fresh and clean and ready for the new season. So let's head down here and see what these gals are doing. So they're getting everything moved to the clean side of the greenhouse right now. Looks like the shrubs have all been put up on shipping carts. So they will either get laid back down in this greenhouse on the clean side, or they might even get moved into a different greenhouse space. I'm not sure what the plans are for these, but they have them all cleaned up, trimmed up. If there was any weeds or anything, the weeds have been removed. They've top dressed them with a fresh coating of soil. All the dead leaves were knocked off, and you can even see on this one here, this is a hydrangea, there's a little bit of new growth starting. So just the heat that the sun brings sometimes will give these a little kickstart really before we're even intending for them to grow. This Rise Up Ringo, this one never lost its leaves this year. So soon, probably in the next 2 to 4 weeks, we'll be turning the heat on. So we will get these things all sprouting again so that they're ready by the end of March when we start shipping. The next area we're working on is our quart-size shrubs. So we carry every single Proven Winners shrub. For sure we carry them in the quart size, and probably about 75% of the varieties also are carried in the gallon size. So the team's going through with these and removing any of the leaves that have fallen from the winter dormancy, cleaning up if there's any like moss or anything that's grown on the soil, getting that off and putting a fresh coat of dirt on them so that these too are ready by end of March when we start shipping. It's always kind of fun to walk through this area because there's always little surprises with flowers that are just rogue flowers that are blooming, and you think, how in the world are you blooming? It's freezing in here, but it's amazing what plants can do. We are fortunate, like I said, it's 7 degrees outside, but the sun is out right now, so it's making it feel quite comfortable in this greenhouse. Yesterday was a definite winter coat weather, but today it's sweatshirts. So once you're down to sweatshirts, it means it's fairly comfortable. So all of these will be cleaned up. Some of them will get dumped if they don't look good, or if they, especially like these evergreens. Some of these evergreens got that brown and stuff on them. Those will get dumped because they're not quality plants. So that's the other thing they're looking for too, is just to make for sure that the plants that are out here, since they were from last year, to make for sure that they're still quality. So Ben's out here sweeping all the crud off the ground, getting it into piles, and then he'll get that off, and then what he'll do is he'll come through with that bleach solution. And what he says is he's killing off the algae mostly. There's not really moss, it's mostly algae what we're seeing on here. So the bleach solution gets that all killed off and gets this floor going from totally nasty and slimy to really shiny and clean. So he'll be working on that for a while. And I think actually this floor here, and then where the girls were just working on those quart shrubs, once those are all moved, this house will be all cleaned up and ready to go. I think I found my spot. I'm gonna stand here all day. Just kidding, but seriously, the sun is shining and it is absolutely gorgeous right here, right now. It's just so crazy how the sun can be out with it just in the single-digit temperatures, but yet feels so amazing in a greenhouse. Like, that's the beauty of working in a greenhouse, is even on these cold, yucky Michigan days, it's gorgeous inside of here. And there's just so much life and so much funness going on, just watching all the plants and such. So yeah, if you're local, we're hiring. So I encourage you to contact me and we can talk about job opportunities here in this gorgeous greenhouse. So right now we're just going to be waiting for that 4-star truck to come in. We'll probably hit that in another video since they're not here yet. And the cement people, I was just told, are not coming today because why would they want to do cement on a 7-degree day? So this is the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And if you're new to our YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe and then hit that notification bell to alert you of all of our new videos. Thank you for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.